What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chef Harold. We're here in San Francisco. We're about to create a dish with our great friends from Undiscovered. We're going to showcase it on October 22nd right here in 5M Park Project. Come out and check us out. My name is Harold Villarosa. I'm 37 years old. I am a chef, entrepreneur. And how I got started in the cooking business was 15 years old. I was working in a restaurant called McDonald's on 34th Street. And I think from that point on, I really kind of just fell in love with cooking itself. And I kind of had a chance and an opportunity to work for some of the best restaurants in the world. I started out in a restaurant called West up in the Upper West Side with Tom Valenti. I got a chance to go and stage and work for Rene Redzepi at a restaurant called Noma in Copenhagen. And then after that, I really got a chance to diversify myself and worked at a restaurant called Batard with Marcus Glocker, where we won a Michelin star in the New York Times. Worked at a restaurant called Per Se, under Thomas Keller, 3 Michelin star restaurant. And then after that, I decided to go and work at a busy place called Maison Pickle and Jacob's Pickle on the Upper West Side. So it's a brunch place, Southern restaurant food. And then from then on, I ended up having my first executive chef position at Freeman's Alley, Freeman's Restaurant on the Lower East Side, where I really kind of opened up and really started introducing myself to Filipino food and Filipino cooking. And jumped around, did a couple of consulting gigs, a few pop-ups in the Bahamas with Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake. And then now I'm back here in San Francisco, getting ready to go to the next adventure. So what we're making today is the dish that we're going to be kind of representing at Undiscovered. It's going to be a pork belly adobo with a patty melt kind of situation. The idea came about is, you know, we had a day old. I had a day old adobo in the fridge, and I was coming home from work and I was super hungry, and I realized I can make a patty melt out of this thing. And adobo, as everybody knows, is always good the day after. All right. And so first off, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my pan going here first. We have a great, nice little donabi here. I'm gonna add canola oil, and we're gonna get this nice and hot because I'm gonna go ahead and peel some garlic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the oil a little bit of that garlic flavor. First is I'm gonna take maybe 3 cloves of garlic, and we're gonna just smash it up to open them up. And we're gonna go ahead and kind of toast them in this oil, then pull them out. And then I'm gonna start sauteing the pork belly in it and kind of just like create the base for the food, right? And you know, adobo, for real, for me, it's a go-to dish in my household. It's really easy to do. And everybody says that their adobo is better than theirs or yours or whatever, but I feel like every family in the Philippines says that, so we'll just keep it like that, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and dice up the pork belly to kind of 1-inch situations here, because they'll be easier to cook and they'll cook a little bit faster. I got this pork belly from Manila Supermarket down in Daly City, which is my favorite little place to come and grab Filipino delicacies. Also went to Pacific Supermarket also in Daly City to get some of the good stuff, right? And when we talk about the good stuff, we're talking about the good stuff, huh? Leti puti definitely for your vinegar. I got some soy sauce here in a squeeze bottle, some brown sugar. I got some black peppercorns, fresh bay leaf from my friend's garden up in Marin. And we're gonna do some of this, my little secret is this Maggi Magic Sarap, which really means you got a lot of MSG in it and you know, whatever. So this is gonna add a little bit more flavor to it, okay? So yeah, so we're gonna cut this up a little bit, and then we're gonna check on our garlic, see where it's at, and then we just have this thing going. Yeah, when it gets like nice and brown like that, that's when we pull it out. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the pork. Surface on that, we'll season it. What I want is a little browning too. Get this thing brown. Once it gets brown, I'm gonna flip it on one side. I'm gonna add all the ingredients, and I'm gonna cover it. Then we'll go to the next thing. I'm gonna drain some of this fat, right? I'm gonna add the stuff now. Bay leaf, onions, garlic, a little brown sugar, level pickled, soy sauce. Add a little bit of water. Alright, yeah, we're gonna add the vinegar now. I'll add more later, just for taste, but I want it to cook now. I'll add the magic seasoning. Our secret seasoning. And once it comes up to a boil, you cover it. We're gonna be building the pickling liquid for the achara. So super simple. For me, I really like to do the pickle mainly like a 3-2-1, 3 parts water, 2 parts vinegar, and 1 part sugar. I like to be a little bit more acidic than sweet. So it'll hopefully help cut through the fat of the pork when you eat the sandwich later, yeah? So first what we're gonna do is go ahead and just crack some garlic. Maybe 4 cloves. Throw it into the mix. Don't worry about the skin, we're gonna go ahead and strain that later. Some garlic and ginger. And then I like to use dried bay leaves for this one. Such a classic recipe. Do sugar, some water. And what I like to use is champagne because I'm fancy, you know what I'm saying? Bring it to the stove, and we'll bring that to a boil, and then we'll strain it. And so as that's going, we're gonna go ahead and get into our vegetables. Our vegetables for today is gonna be mango instead of papaya. I think mangoes is a great substitution for achara because it's super sweet right now, especially the ones that we're getting from California, and I love this. Love these mangoes. And then peppers and carrots are traditional. Some people also put they call it raisins in their achara. I'm not really a big fan of raisins, so I'm gonna leave that out. But if you want to use raisins in your achara, you can always add that on. But essentially, achara is just a pickling liquid, right? A pickle. So you want to make sure that, you know, first the flavor is there, but then second, you're just doing what you feel like doing. Don't let nobody really tell you what to do and like how to, you know, create your own dishes and all that stuff. So it's great to be able to just use California products and then just be able to incorporate that into this thing. So what I'll do is I'm gonna slice the mango really thin. Slice this julienne as thin as possible. Next, we're gonna get our red pepper. I'm just gonna use one. Take the seeds out from the inside. And I really wanna get this thin as possible. There's a lot of like extra bitterness that's in here. I'll just get that right into the mix. You gotta have a sharp knife for this. So what you wanna do is you wanna just cut down. Really get that down. And we don't throw any of this stuff away. We'll save all this for another dish later on down the line, but we don't throw any of this stuff away, right? Peel the carrots. Like little strips. And we'll take this and we'll line this up. This cut is called julienne. It's the thinnest slices you can create for anything. So then you want that, for the achara, you want that kind of really thin slices. It's up to a boil now. Just turn it off. I'm gonna taste it first, see where it's at. Needs more sugar, needs more. Yeah, needs a little bit more sugar. Pickle liquid one more time. Yeah, that's good. I'll go ahead and strain it right over the top, right? I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes. There you go. It's nice. Adobo, looking good. I want this reduced a little bit more. I want it to be super sticky. Maybe I'll reduce it halfway. Give it another 15 minutes. It's looking really glossy. See that? That's where I want that. You don't want to be too soupy, you know, because you're putting it in a sandwich, you feel me? So yeah, as long as you've been following, now we're gonna go right into kind of creating our mise en place for the sandwich, all right? You got the sourdough from Bodine, right in Fisherman's Wharf. They've been around for such a long time, you know. They kind of mastered the sourdough. Look how beautiful this thing is. So we're gonna use sourdough as our bread for today. Cut them in like maybe a 1/4 inch, not too big, because you still want the sandwich to be able to hold itself, huh? And what we'll be using for our cheeses today is we do some garlic jack cheese, and I got some Mexican blend, which most of you have in your house, all right? And it's super simple to put together. Butter, cheese, your bread, and then obviously the main ingredient is your pork adobo, okay? Oh yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That. Put the bread down. Okay. So what I'm gonna do also is, this is a little trick of mine, I'm gonna crust the bread with cheese, okay? I like that kind of flavor. So I'm gonna put some layers of cheese down here. And once this thing melts and gets hard, I'm gonna put the bread on top of it. And we're gonna have this cheesy crust. Right? Well, still this idea, okay? I'm watching you. One thing about San Francisco too is amazing cheese. You really get some really good cheese in San Francisco. I'm gonna take these slices of cheese, lay them down right here. I'm gonna take some adobo. Check this out. Whew. Come on, you want that gloss, you see? When the adobo gloss like this, that's when you know you're doing it right. Right? So you want some of that adobo over the top. Oof. You can smell this now. Right that time? You smell this now. We put some of this achara over the top. Mango, peppers, carrots. This thing is really gonna have some flavor to it. See our cheese is starting to kind of melt a little bit there. I'm gonna cover this. And then, for my friends at Habibi, I'm gonna go ahead and press this down. All right, get a nice melty melt. As you can tell by the noise, that means that the cheese is melting. Get a nice color on that side. And we're gonna flip it. Ooh. Flip it real quick. Look how nice that is. The cheese here is getting nice and golden brown. We're gonna have the cheese encapsulate itself around the sandwich, alright? Oh yeah. Look at that. Is that a grilled cheese or what? Look at that thing. Oh my goodness. This is Buti Diba's pork adobo patty melt with a little bit of pickled mango achara, some cheese, pork adobo of course. Man, I'm super excited for this, huh? The boys are excited too. Look at that, those layers in there. Look at that. And what you want to do too, because we're fancy, finish with a little salt. Thank you so much for checking in on Undiscovered. We are going to be out in Undiscovered SF October 22nd, right here in the 5M project. We'll be at the booth serving our patty melt pork adobo with a cheese crust. For future projects, we have a restaurant coming up called Buti Diba in the 5M project also, which will debut hopefully next year. And you can check us out once again at Undiscovered October 22nd. Right here in SOMA Pilipinas, posted up from 12 to 6 p.m. And if you need more information, you can also check in at undiscoveredsf.com and check out what other activities are going on that day. Come by, say hello, we'll be around. Peace. I was gonna do like salt and vinegar chips. It's tasty, huh? Yeah.